What up? It's your boy King Down 225 coming at you with another reactionary video. So hit that like, subscribe, become part of the kingdom. Man, I saw this shit 7 days ago. I was like, man, I want to talk about this, but I gotta pick the right time to talk about it. I gotta get in the mood because I gotta speak some real stuff that I always be speaking. That I said many occasions on many of videos. I got 1,500 plus videos on there. I took out about 300. My last strike I got from YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, I need to talk to you, YouTube, because this is going to be a B1 video. B1 represents black first if you don't understand. I say this, my channel is for my community, the B1 community, and specifically the underserved within my community, which is the young black male youth. You understand me, YouTube? And what I mean by that is they have an absence of masculinity. Their father's not around. We live in a very matriarchal society within my community, and they need advice. So YouTube, please understand. I understand that I might get a, a, a copyright claim because I'm gonna play a video from Love and Hip Hop. I don't care about the money. Sometimes this ain't about the money. It's about the information, the knowledge. Like YouTube, you understand? So when I try to reach my people, I'm not talking down to them. When I speak the way that I speak, I am communicating in the language that they best understand. It's not meant to offend other people when we speak amongst each other. And I'm trying to reach my young men, YouTube. So give me a little leeway, because I'm talking about mental health for young black men and the stresses and the shit that we have to deal with that I always talk about. So it might seem as though I'm taking shots at certain protected groups, but I'm not. I'm telling you, I say my perception, my reality comes from my experiences, the conversations that I had with my peers, and the observations, the shit that I have observed. I don't live on motherfucking internet and formulate an opinion. This is shit that I have actually lived. So when I talk about ABC use in my community, when I talk about the expectations of a young black male in a single mother home, when I talk about all those things, the mental ABCUs, the physical ABCUs, the emotional ABCUs, the verbal ACUs. And when I say the most ABC uses within my community, it's not black men, but actually black women. The most destructive within my community are not black men, it's actually black women, because they create destruction. I ain't saying this that would be their fault, but I'm telling you the shit that I done heard mothers say to their children, and they think just because his words, sticks and stones don't break your bones, but words have never hurt me. But you constantly chipping at that. That is the definition of verbal, emotional, and mental ABC use. I'm telling you the shit, bro. And I say that men masculinity is toxic. I'm like, I don't believe this. But if it is a thing is toxic masculinity, as are some bad men, but all men not bad, then it stems from corrupt femininity. See, YouTube, I already know. I ain't supposed to say the F word. Give me some leeway. So it comes from corrupt femininity because I always say women tend to create the world that they despise. You go back in my videos, you understand what I mean. Like you, Lil Scrappy confronts Momma D for raising him in a brothel and a trap house. yesterday was one of the most real moments in the entire Love and Hip Hop franchise. It was when I seen this second was maybe Erica Miller complaining about how much money she not getting. Oh Lord. Lil Scrappy confronted his mom about the pain he felt as a child growing up in a trap house and brothel where his mother sold to customers, and media takeout confirmed it was very powerful scene. Man, I speak to mental health because I'm telling you, I was a young man raised by. I tried to have this conversation. You know, I'm gonna use my little YouTube videos and YouTube channel to try to, affect change. I had this very discussion, try to have this very discussion with my mom, like, Mom, I'm gonna bring you on the podcast when I start doing podcasts, and we're gonna get real. Cause I always say, bro, this is my mental health journey. I always say this before YouTube even existed, decades. My people, the B1 community needs therapy. It's like we are born with PTSD. You know, I can blame poverty, but all black people are not poverty, but they still got to deal with this disdain America has for them just because of the color of their skin. Whether they won't believe it's there or not. I'm talking about my people, not nobody else. Some of my people don't even believe we in a post-racial war or world. But they still look at you. You need therapy. So I've always been a proponent of therapy. Find the right one. Don't find none that's on that agenda on that BS. Because people are still people. I, I always felt like I ain't really need no damn therapy because I always kept it real with myself. I don't point fingers at other people. I vent like everybody else. I have, you know, but I always have a conversation with myself. They say you ain't supposed to do that. I don't understand why. I'm like, man, when I'm feeling some type of way, this is what I do. When it comes to mental health, when I'm feeling some type of way, I mentally, I don't say it out loud. I'm like, man, that king, for real, why are you feeling this way? And I always am honest with myself about why I feel the way I feel. Like, cause that's the one person I can tell you cannot lie to. If you gonna be, you know, mentally, talk about healing and being mentally aware, you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to other people. So I always be honest with self. Love self. I ain't never had a problem with loving myself. Never ever had a problem with that. But the outside world and shit you got to deal with, you have to, even as a man, because it's another reason why I want to start this channel, because, man, I give out great advice. If I was on a different path, people would tell you, man, you could have been a lawyer, you could have been a doctor, you could have been a psychiatrist. Like, I give great advice, but I always feel like people resent me for it and don't hear me, and I'm giving this shit away for free, and don't nobody really value my voice. Another thing I learned, young men out there, don't nobody give a fuck what you got to say if you ain't got money to back it up. So get on your purpose, get your pockets right, and then the shit that you giving away for free. I always feel like creatively, I'm on the par with Kanye West. I just haven't getting the opportunity. I never had enough money. This, that, and the other thing. I'm giving away all this advice and creation away for free for decades, and nobody listened. So I'm gonna start me a YouTube page. Get this game that I've been giving out free in my real life to the internet and see where it get me. But that's a side note. Let's get back on this. Scrappy's mother, Momma D, worked first as and eventually the head lady in charge. She had Scrappy during her time in the streets, and she raised him in pretty crazy environments. I tell you, one of the things that I noticed and observed and experienced is single mothers tend to expectations early on young black men. This is how they. I ain't gonna say because women. I've had so much experience. Oh Lord, I am so blessed now that I have a YouTube channel to have experienced the shit that I've experienced. It's like a moment of clarity. Now I understand. Great creator, or God, or the universe, or however you want to say it. Like, damn, shit. That's why you went through this, so you can live and tell a tale about it to the rest of the world. Scrappy who hides his feelings well. That's how he was raised. Again, the message. Single mothers tend to have this kind of thing for their young sons. You are now the man of the house. Men get expectations early. And the theme usually be for the young daughter, single mother homes now, is get an education, go to school. And now you can, and then when they grow up, you can see the separation. You know, young men take more penitentiary chances at an early age, and young ladies go off to college. I'm telling you, like, I don't know if they do that as much now, because now these mamas even worse. If daughter out there popping it open on OnlyFans or Twitter or Instagram, long as she getting her cut, she ain't got shit to say with it about it. She probably popping her ass right next to her on the Instagram video. Shit changed. Son still taking penitentiary chances, but now daughters can give me that money now too, quicker. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro. That's why dads need to be involved, bro. Scrappy who hides his feelings well. That's how we was taught, how we was ingrained. Men are allowed to voice their opinion. We don't have a voice. We are ashamed if we express our feelings. Women always talk about they want somebody who emotionally intelligent and can express their feelings and emotions. That's one of the gifts and curses of being raised in a single mother home. Like you might catch me arguing with my mom back and forth. And like, oh, you ain't supposed to do that. I'm not scared to argue with no woman. I'm not scared of expressing my feelings or saying what I have to say, because that's how I was raised with women. Like I can empathize. That's one of the gifts and curses. I can empathize. I can say, but men are shamed. You're acting like a bitch. Women always talking about they want this, but then we give it to them. Like, I'm not scared to say you how I feel, or express how I feel, or tell you my feelings or my emotions. The second you tell a woman your feelings, it's like kryptonite. Stop lying out here like I man be emotional, intelligent, and express his feelings. But then when you got one, oh, you acting like a bitch. Oh, I ain't. Oh, I need a man, man. I don't need no dude around here talking about how he feel. Like, oh, I'm telling you. So men are not allowed to have feelings. We're now to allowed to express them. We always, the world tell us not to suppress our feelings and emotions, but they don't give us an outlet without shaming us. Sign language, shame, insult, guilt need to be right. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. Like I experience this on a daily basis. I am always expected because I was taught to keep my composure. But I ain't gonna. I argue with who I argue with because I don't like bullies. I don't fuck with bullies. And if I'm arguing with somebody, that means I feel like they bullying. But let me get to this video or why I ain't got to the video and I'm just rambling. I knew this was gonna be a long video because I'm talking about mental health and the shit that young men have to deal with, the world that they have to exist in on in a single mother home, a mother who, overly masculine. I don't need no man attitude type vibe. Or even if you got a man, you wear the pants and he like the bitch ass nigga. Like, that's imbalance. All that shit. Like, I am very secure and I love myself. And I accept. That's why I think I'm in great mental health. Because I always accept my circumstances and don't point fingers and just try to keep going. Shout out to my mama. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, every nigga ain't gonna be like me. But I got a lot of flaws too. And I fucking stand in my truth. And those flaws that I have, I always say, man, if my pops was around, I probably wouldn't have them flaws. I probably wouldn't. Like when I give young men advice, the advice I give young men is the advice what I wish I had when I was a kid. Like when I was on my bullshit and I needed somebody like get on my ass or give me some direction or shake me up or wake me up. Like it's different coming from a man as opposed to coming from your mama. Like from like, boy, get your ass up and go to school, don't bullshit, don't play around. I wanted that as a young man. My mama would do that, but she would always let me slide. If you, I don't know how to express it. Like she would always let me slide. That's the best I can say. Like man, okay, yeah, she'll discipline, she'll smack me, she'll whoop me, she'll yell, but then she'll let me slide. I don't want nobody to let me slide. I want somebody to put up a fence right there and don't allow me to go nowhere. Like it's weird. That's what I craved as a kid. That structure, that discipline. And you can see sometimes as an adult, I have pride with authority. I don't really like nobody telling me what to do, or talking to me, or handling me a certain type of way. Like I argue with a woman, flaws and they know them. I always like, man, my no telling women no is like a 2% rate. I feel like every question, like, don't get it twisted. You motherfuckers I don't know ain't on that level. But people who I love, it's like in my inner circle. People in my inner circle, like my family, they ask me something. It's like 98% chance I'm gonna tell them yeah. I'm like a fucking big pushover. Gotta stop that shit, bro. But let's get to the video. Finally, why I felt it was necessary to make this video, because it points out everything that I have always said about the ABCUs within my community, the responsibility, the power. Like women hear that and they think I'm knocking them. I done even been called like you must don't like women in real life, and it's so far from the truth. It's like ridiculous. Like it's the exact opposite. I have such an abundance amount of love for women, especially my black women within my community, because I can truly see how powerful y'all really are, how y'all create the world. Like the whispers in the night, the conversations, what I teach my kid. Y'all creating kings and queens. And I'm like, man, they talking about patriarchy. Like, patriarchy wouldn't exist without women, right? Like, it was always, women always want to take credit for the good shit, but don't always want to be left out for the bad shit. Behind every strong man is a good woman. Okay, well, who creating all this bad shit is just men's fault, right? It's just being fault. Okay. Alright. I'm telling you the shit that women do it now. When that boy's this age, that boy this age, no, oh now he this age, now he up there. Oh, we ain't got nothing to do with it. He ain't shit now. But you sold him in shitty ground and he didn't really get no sunlight and the water was tainted and now you're mad because he a deformed plant where he growed up. Niggas ain't shit now. But let's get to this video. And I want y'all to hear this one part he say in the middle. When he say, this was the part that struck me the most. When he say, I can't talk to you, mama, because you too hard. And I can't talk to her, my wife, because she too hard. That's the dichotomy that men live in. You too hard to even have a conversation. Women always talking about they want somebody. That's who we search for. Some woman who I can really be who I am around them. Because women always talking about, that's why I'm on this eternal search and I refuse to settle. Like somebody who you can communicate with, who don't take offense to you, who know you're not going to harm them, who not going to try to weaponize you or themselves or victimize themselves. Like an honest conversation and like, I'm a man. I'm extra masculine. I can't talk to you, boo. I can't like I gotta be extra hard because you so hard. I gotta be super hard. If my woman hard, I gotta be super hard. Like, how am I? Let's get to the video. Another thing about this single parent mother shit that I always spoke on, that he's speaking on now. Black mothers tend to raise their sons into their dream man. Even if they going through pain, they mix that pain that they didn't experience in with the razor. So they raise their son into the man that they wish they had, but they let him slide. So shit don't always stick. So it always be a level of resentment when that young man, and it's like I get it from two sides. I get my woman telling me I'm a mama's boy because I won't do for my mama. And I'm get it for my mama that I'm abandoning her for some woman who that ain't your mama. Like what you raised me. Oh, like you know how many times I heard this shit. When I was a boy, I spake as a boy, I did this as a boy, but I came man, I put away childish things. But then when I grow up and I'm trying to build a family and get married, do the right thing, I got my mama telling me I'm abandoning her. But I can't talk to her because she too hard. And I can't talk to my wife because she too hard. So I gotta be super hard. Because if you weak, you beat, boy. And we all know that. Because men ain't allowed to express themselves. They ain't allowed to say shit. They ain't allowed to say what they feel. You get shamed online, and this shit happen in real life. You shut up. You acting like a bitch. You must be GAY. You must hate your mama. You don't like women. You hate black women. Oh, shit. Let me just shut the fuck up. Misogynistic, women-hating rapper. That's his experience. That's what he had to deal with. And we don't disrespect moms who had to get it out the mud like that. It is what it is. But all actions have repercussions, whether they good or bad. Live in that. Like, but we not allowed to. They'll tell us, they'll shame us to say, you need to see therapy. You need to go see a therapist. But then when you express your feelings, they'll shame you and say you a bitch. It's like, where do black men turn when it comes to our mental health? Do people really give a good goddamn? Like, cause sometimes I don't believe love is real unless you can have the finances to support it. Like, you are not allowed to love nobody unless you got money in the bank when it comes to people out here in the world. Like, you have no value. Fuck your morals, your character, your history. Like, if you ain't got a dollar goddamn bill, you don't have a voice. You're not allowed to speak. Nigga, shut the fuck up. That's the realest I can be. But young men, bro, the expectations that the community place on you, that's matriarchal in our community. You have to endure it, get on your purpose, get you some money, and get you a voice.
Help? Ain't nobody got me no help. I learned about that when I got old.
Cause ain't nobody gonna help you. Ain't nobody gonna help you. Like, we all seek a ride or die woman that's gonna be down. But like, when the chips fall, you gonna see how down it is. Like, is she gonna is she really there to emotionally support you, or she waiting to gather information to weaponize against you when she get angry on Mad Day? Can you really talk to her, or she gonna change up when you really tell her how you feel, or show her who you really are? Or maybe you've been showing who you really is the whole time, and she ain't won't believe. She thought she can change you. Where do black men go? And I had this therapist, I made a video, and she out here shaming black men. See how they talk to us? These niggas, and they got mad because black women got her canceled. And she still blame black men. Black men are always everybody's whipping boy. We always the bitch. We always the excuse. We are not allowed to say nothing about it. Look how they buck breaking Kyrie and Kanye, and now they trying to get Dave Chappelle. Where they stem from? It is deeper than rap. Let me continue this video. My granddaddy wasn't that hard either, my nigga. Dealing with these women, I can't communicate. I can't say nothing. I can't pose a question. I used to always say my grandfather was a pastor. You'd be surprised the conversation that I can have with him. Like, you raised not questioning God. But when I come to him with a question, he would give me a thoughtful answer with no judgment. But like, I can't. This is weird how I used to be able to communicate with the men in my life around. Like, you can have uncomfortable conversations with dudes. I guess that's what always been men therapy. Other men, you can have uncomfortable conversations. You fucked up shit and get honest answers. But I always felt as though when you talk to certain ladies within my community, it's always defensive, it's always aggressive, it's always judgment. Like, so why in the fuck would I express myself emotionally to you? And this from dude who I don't have no problem, because again, I'm around women. I don't give a fuck about expressing myself. And if you hear or you ain't, I don't give a fuck about that either. That's the monster you created. But I'm telling you, the kind of response, the reaction I got when y'all wouldn't be out here talking about some, y'all want somebody who had a man be able to express themselves. But when you express yourself, that's the response you get. You get shamed and judged for it. You get shamed if you don't, you get shamed if you do. Again, where the fuck is a man supposed to go to deal with his mental issues that his mama helped create in this patriarchal black society helped create? Hmm? Without being shamed or judged. Tell me, you two. Because you're creating monsters that you argue about. The trash bag niggas. The Pookies and Ray Rays y'all like to judge. The rap niggas. Because guess what? If this is what I got to deal with when I'm poor and broke and don't nobody love me, don't nobody give a fuck about me, don't nobody care about my voice, my opinion, no matter how good it is, when I get on, I'm going to be a monster. I hear that mind when I make my when I make my critiques. Again, I love me. I love my mama. I love the women around. I argue with you because I love you. If I don't give a fuck about you, I ain't arguing with you. For real. But that don't mean you did everything perfect. And I ain't got some fucked up in me and some shit that I need to, express. Upbringing. But everybody know the story and the tale of a young woman. The issues that she could have. She could have been, you know, sexually assaulted. She could have been raped. She could have been, sexually trafficked. She could have been all that. But don't nobody talk about the traumas that young men go through. It seems like nobody cares. Like, and all you hear this narrative out of some women that all men are trash and a delete all babies, especially black babies before they born. Like that's this narrative you hear. Like these are your sons. These are your brothers. These are your fathers. Do you really want to make the world a better place? Or this your real mission? Because it's not just halfway help. Women get a lot of help, a lot of advice. Like I know y'all deal with y'all shit, but do y'all ever realize that the shit that y'all sons have to deal with? Like we are born to want to take care of our mothers. Like and the shit that y'all deal with, we deal with. That's why I say women create destruction. Because you are raising these children to go out there and be the people they're going to be. They're going to take what you gave them for the rest of their life. And I'm glad, though, I went through some shit, some traumatic experiences. I always said I was protected and I was loved. And it could have been worse. My mama truly loved me, and she thought that she was doing the best she could. Just like all women who do it about it, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing it like, yeah, but you're gonna have to accept some failures. I be talking, I'm like, man, I understand. I was a single father, raised a little girl. I always accepted it, you know, my limitations. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, a man, you can tell a man all about the female menstrual cycle all you want. Okay, I'm dad, but I have never experienced it, and I can't relate on some levels. Only a mother can. So no matter how good of a dad I was as a single father, I was the father. I wasn't a mother. So it was a lot of flaws that she might have because the mother wasn't around. Like a child deserves both. But when a woman do it by herself, sometimes, like in my mama case, it wasn't her fault my daddy died. It ain't nobody's fault. You gotta do what you got to do. But sometimes when you doing what you doing, you putting yourself out, especially in this day and time in 2022, you putting yourself out there like that, and then your children got to deal with that. Yeah, they might be eating off your work, but I hope you paying for a therapist too. And I hope this reached somebody, some young men out there. Don't, you know, you need help, go see a therapist, talk to your bros, get you a group, get you a tribe, talk to your uncle, talk to your pawpaw, talk to some dude with his head on. I always have a circle of men, good men, not these trash ass niggas out here. They exist too. Cause I'm telling you, if it wasn't for you know the men who did exist in my reality and affected me in the way they affected me, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't. Thank you, big bro. Thank you, unks. Thank you, all the men who contributed to a young fatherless, you know, child. Cause I know, I experienced, I know how this feel. I know the fucked up environment sometimes, the expectations, and I know all this. And you don't really have nobody to talk to. You're shamed in this matriarchal community for having an opinion, speaking your opinion, having a voice, expressing it. I know. I take these talkers all the time. I felt like I was built to, take shots from niggas. Like, cause it don't bother me. But I just know. I experienced this. I know. But you want somebody to express themselves. You want a man to express themselves. Shut the fuck up. You must don't like women. Like, I'm really confused. So, young men, the best advice I give you is don't worry about it. Worry about getting on your purpose. I know a lot of people tell you this shit and it's fucked up. Get on your purpose and make your money. The hardest thing is finding your path. That's the hardest thing. Y'all can tell you go get a job, you might not be happy. But if you find your path, if you find your purpose, then you gonna be alright. But just keep your motherfucking head up. Go seek help if you need help. We all go through it. We're a brotherhood. We here for you. Just keep going. Hit that like and subscribe, become part of the kingdom.